What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about weird facts about British life. Because British life is so weird. It's weird and I want to learn about it. But seriously, I do rather enjoy the idea of this whole video. The title of this that we're watching today is 50 Weird and Confusing Facts about British Life and Culture. And this just seemed fantastic to me. Amazing, because it's like I don't have any clue what kind of facts I'm going to be presented with today. And it's these types of random compilations of facts that give you the good stuff. The stuff you can't even look up about weird stuff going on in Britain and British life. So that's got me a little excited at some of the obscure kind of things I might learn today, some of the stuff I've never heard before, and that sounds very interesting to me. So, with that being said, let's take a look. 50 weird and confusing facts about British life. Okay.
Fact number 1, tea is by far the most popular drink drunk by Brits. Maybe you knew this, but apparently...
Okay. And as soon as I say that, we start with literally, probably the most commonly known fact imaginable about Britain, but I'm not gonna knock the video yet. That's number 1, you know. Maybe that deserves to be number 1 on the list.
Apparently, we drink 165 million cups of tea every single day. Okay. Bananas. I've drunk no tea today.
Wait, 165 million a day? Okay, that's interesting. 165 million a day? What's the population of Britain? 165 million cups a day?
Not my favourite. I don't hate it. I'll have it if I'm offered, but yeah. Number 2, on our main TV channels, that's channel 1 and 2 and quite a few others, they're run by the BBC and we don't have any adverts. This is because we pay a licence fee. And I think it's over £100 a year, but basically we have to pay. If we have a TV, we have to pay it, even if we don't want to watch the BBC. Now, really? I kind of like it because I like ad-free TV, but I also don't want the BBC to tell me whether I can have a TV or not.
What? That's... Okay, all right. The video is redeemed. That is so obscure, I never would have even thought of to ask something like that. Okay, cool. You have to pay 100 a year, but no ads. Okay.
Number 3, queues are incredibly important to us.
Queues?
If you push into a queue, if you queue jump.
Oh, queues. I thought she meant the letter Q. I was like, queues? Like, what kind of words are we talking about here? All these Q words? No, queue, as in the British term for waiting in a line. We don't use the word queues in America, so that did throw me off, but I know what she's saying.
You will be universally hated in Britain.
Oh my gosh.
Comment below if queues are important in your country, because I went to Spain and I lived there for a while and people did not respect queues. When I lived in Spain,
I feel like in America, it's people respect the queues, but you shouldn't be shocked if you run into, every once in a while, someone who does not respect the queue. Someone who tries to either jump in line, cut, or just be annoying, quite honestly, with the queue, and not obey the rules of organization. But it seems to me, from what I've heard in Britain, like the respect of queuing is next level, and I like it. I appreciate that.
I remember being in a bank, and some lady thought that her problem was more important than my problem.
Right.
And she just pushed in and was like, sorry, this is an emergency.
What? Yeah.
I was like, in Britain, that would never happen.
Right.
Number 4, please, sorry, and thank you basically dominate all of our social interactions.
Huh.
It's so ingrained into our brains that we often bump into things and then apologise to the inanimate object.
I mean, honestly, doesn't that say something about British culture in general? Please, sorry, and thank you are just ingrained. I think that's good. Like, that's great. Maybe some people who are foreigners or something find it annoying when people say please, sorry, thank you too much, like it's too much, but I don't really subscribe to that theory. That sounds great. Although it does seem like in Britain, based off this, people say please, sorry, thank you so much that you almost don't even like appreciate it as much. Like it's just normal. It's just common. You don't even notice it. It's expected. But in America, if you're saying please, oh sorry, thank you so much, if you're saying all that stuff, then Americans are going to think you are just the nicest person ever. They're just going to be like, wow, that person's a little nice, maybe a little too nice, maybe a little suspicious. Maybe they're from Britain. No. But I don't know. That sounds kind of nice to me. I think America could use a bit more of that kind of stuff.
Like, I have whacked my shoulder on a door and said, oh, sorry, and then felt really stupid and British at the same time.
Okay.
But yeah, just a simple task like passing the salt at a dinner table. Sorry, please could you pass the salt? Thank you. Sorry, excuse me, please. Honestly, we say it about 8 times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing like that in America. Not even close. Yeah, I'm glad she gave an example. And the thing is, in America, if you don't say sorry, no one is going to think you're being rude. And we're not trying to be rude by not saying sorry. Most people do say thank you for stuff. But some don't. But most people say thank you in America and appreciate that. But not so much the sorry. Not so much the sorry at all.
Number 5, when you greet a friend in the UK, you don't normally shake their hand. Okay. Normally, you give them 1 kiss on the cheek. If you've recently been in the rest of Europe, then you might give 2 kisses by mistake and say, oh, sorry, I just got back from France, just got back from Spain.
Wait, really? I didn't know there was any kissing of the cheek going on in Britain, seeing your friends. Do men do that? Do women do that? How friendly do you have to be to give a little kiss on the cheek? That's famously like a French greeting. Even Americans even know that and associate it with France. But not with Britain. Not with Britain at all. So this is news to me. I haven't really ever seen this though. In like movies and stuff. You'd think I'd have noticed this. Huh. Wait a minute.
1 kiss on the cheek if you've recently shake their hand. Normally, you give them 1 kiss on the cheek if you've...
Really? Wow. Okay.
Just got back from France. Just got back from Spain. And if you're feeling very masculine and you are with another very masculine person, then even though you know them very well, you might still shake their hand, but that's only if you're very, very masculine. Number 6, when the sun comes out, because it doesn't come out so often, we make the most of it. In 15-degree heat, we will wear sandals, mini skirts, strappy tops, bikinis, and we will get very, very sunburnt as well. The day after a sunny day, everyone is red. It's terrible.
Yeah, I think in America we kind of take it for granted, although it really does depend. Like, America is so enormous. You can live in a vastly different climate, like, depending on which state you live in. There can be tons of sun, average amount of sun. It can be cold more or rain more. It's quite random. But we definitely get enough sun to where it's not really that big of a deal. Although we do get very confused on what clothing to wear for the day, because the temperature will fluctuate between needing a jacket or no jacket or a light jacket or shorts or pants or a hat or no hat. And it's kind of just like, that's the toughest thing, I think, about American weather.
Also, our houses are not designed to cope with the heat. As I'm experiencing right now, it's 19 degrees outside and I am absolutely dying. Number 7, British cuisine. Well, our most known dish is probably the Sunday roast or beef and Yorkshire puddings. However, we actually...
The Sunday roast? The Sunday roast? What is that? Hold on, I'm Googling this. Sunday roast. It's coming up. What is this? A Sunday roast or roast dinner is a traditional meal of British origin. I don't know why I can't say the word origin. British origin. Although it can be consumed throughout the week, it's traditionally consumed on Sunday? Sunday roast, look at that. Looks nice. Man, it's making me hungry. What? What is this? It is roasted meat, mashed potatoes, roasted potatoes, and accompanies Yorkshire pudding, stuffing, gravy. What a hearty meal. What? Huh. I thought I'd heard of a lot of British foods, and yet suddenly the Sunday roast comes along. All right, this is why I like these kinds of videos. It's exactly what I'm here for. The random foods, too.
Probably the Sunday roast or beef and Yorkshire puddings. However, we actually voted for our national dish, and we voted for a chicken tikka masala, which is an Indian dish. Number 8.
Wait, what?
And we voted for a chicken tikka masala, which is an Indian dish.
Really? Chicken tikka masala? Man, I feel so uncultured right now. I don't know what any of this stuff is, but that must be extraordinarily good for it to be like an Indian dish, yet voted the national dish of Britain?
For our national dish, and we voted for a chicken tikka masala, which is an Indian dish.
Okay.
Number 8, if you are on public transport, it is highly expected that you give up your seat for an elderly person or a disabled person. And if you don't do it, people will tut at you. This is a very British thing. People just go...
that was a good example. Wow. Americans, don't use public transportation enough to have a lot of protocol with the public transportation, but common sense would dictate that most people, even in America, give up your seat if there's someone who needs it. If someone needs it for some kind of reason, physical condition, medical condition, that just makes sense. But I have to say, public transportation isn't too much of a thing in America, so don't be surprised anything could happen, because Americans just don't know how to behave on them.
We don't like to be too direct. Sometimes we muster up enough courage to say, excuse me, that person needs that seat, but we're not going to be too confrontational about it. Right. And if we are ever confrontational with someone on public transport, we spend the next week coming down from the adrenaline, and replaying the situation in our head, telling our mates about it. It's a big deal. Number...
Right. It's a big... Because Brits are very polite, saying sorry. It'd be a very polite confrontation. Wow. Okay, these are good. I am enjoying this.
Number 9, our humour can be quite difficult to understand. We love sarcasm. We have quite dark sense of humour. We can be quite dry, so we can say things without smiling. I love the British sense of humour.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have to be kind of intelligent, dare I say. You have to have a certain amount of wherewithal and intelligence and awareness to understand British humor, which Americans... I'm not exactly describing every American when I say that, so I kind of get how a lot of Americans really might not be able to grasp British humor if it were directed at them. They might even think it's being rude. They wouldn't understand the sarcasm, but I don't know. There's a fair share of Americans that would, though, I would think.
It can be quite dry, so we can say things without smiling. I love the British sense of humour, but it can offend people sometimes.
Right.
That's to be them.
Right.
Number 10, the majority of museums in London are free. And we do actually use them quite a lot. There's been a big increase in Brits trying to do cultural things, which I think is great.
Nice.
Hasn't quite reached me yet. But I did go to the museum in my village last year, so that was great.
Nice.
Number 11, if you are invited to the home of a British person, if they are providing a meal or a party for you, then you are sort of expected to bring some sort of gift. Normally a bottle of wine, some flowers, or chocolates.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think kind of similar to the giving up your seat on the bus to someone who needs it. This is kind of common sense, although definitely not totally expected, but this would be greatly appreciated in America. And it does kind of depend on the circumstance. Yeah, being invited to some kind of get-together or dinner party or any kind of party, it's just nice to bring something. Bring some food or a gift or, Yeah. I guess I'll say not absolutely necessary. You're not going to be outcasted if you don't, but you should. Like, come on, just be a nice person. Just bring some chips or something, for crying out loud.
If you don't bring a gift, we wouldn't say anything about it, but we would silently judge you.
Yeah.
Number 12, we are absolutely obsessed with our animals here. By animals, I mean pets. We put our pets before our own children sometimes. We are dog and cat crazy.
Right. I think Americans are exactly the same. That literally is like she's describing Americans. Dog people, especially dog owners in America, are some of the most fanatical, passionate, we'll say, pet owners, like, ever. They buy clothing for your dog, dress them up, take pictures, go to bed with the dog. Like, dog owners really stick out to me in America. They love their dogs. What can you say?
Number 13, as soon as the sun comes out, we leave work, when it's a good time to leave work, normally 5 o'clock, and we go straight to a pub garden. We don't go inside the pub, we go straight to the pub garden, or if there's no direct route to the garden, then we will march through the pub directly to the garden.
Whoa, pub garden? Pub garden. I thought she was making a joke. I thought she was saying, oh, right after work, we go straight to the pub. And then she says pub garden. I actually don't know what a pub garden is. Pub garden? Yeah, this is a thing. A beer garden is an outdoor area in which beer and food are served, typically at shared tables. Well, I'm getting a lot of results for a beer garden. Or is that the same as a pub garden? Pub garden. The largest one in London is the Prince. It's an outdoor area with tables and you... I'm not getting many, like, descriptions of what it is. Is it the same thing as a beer garden? An outdoor seating area with tables and benches? Is that right? I have not heard this term.
Or if there's no direct route to the garden, then we will march through the pub directly to the garden. We love a pub garden. In fact, when I finish this video, I'm going straight there with my neighbour. 14.
So it's like it's a fun outdoor area where you, like, maybe in the back of the pub, you can, like, go out the back door and be outside and do pub things, basically. I feel like that's what it is.
That brings me on to our drinking culture. It's quite bad, but it's getting better.
Okay.
It's very normal to see some very, very drunk people on Friday and Saturday nights and Sunday nights if it's a bank holiday, which means we have the Monday off work.
Okay.
But millennials, our younger generation, are drinking less, which is a very good thing, and binge drinking cases are going down. Number 15.
That was the fact. That was the entire fact. Drunk binge drinkers are on the decline in Britain. Okay. Interesting fact. That's good. I mean, I guess that's a good thing.
If we hold open a door for you, which we probably will, we expect a thank you. However, if somebody holds a door open for us and it's actually at a really awkward distance, so we have to kind of walk faster and they have to wait for ages holding the door, both parties hate this situation, but we still say thank you and we still do it because I don't know why. It's polite.
I mean, man, if this happened to you in America, if someone was holding the door open for you, you better say... I mean, I feel like it's the same. You should say thank you, even if that person holding the door just forced you to have to jog 30 extra feet that you didn't want to. You might even play the game where you try to not notice that they're holding the door, give them an opportunity to just let the door shut and they can walk in. But if you're forced to acknowledge... I'm talking like this is the end of the world. I certainly never do this, ever. Definitely. But yeah, if someone's holding the door open for you, you say thank you. It'd be weird not to. It'd be weird. Yeah. So I think that's the same, American Britain. Although it does sound like overall in life, activity, existence in Britain, existing in Britain, you're going to say sorry, please, thank you for a lot more things than in America. That sounds definitely true, but when you're doing something like very obviously out of your way polite, Americans are going to say thank you. Like we're not crazy. We're not savages. Or at least when you open the door, we're not. So, you know what? This video here is quite long. Like, we're only a third of the way through these facts, and I'm very, very, very much enjoying these facts. They are just the right amount of obscure and interesting and random, which I am really enjoying. So I think we're going to stop for now here, and feel free to come back for part 2, where we will pick up the rest of this video and continue with the weird and confusing facts about British life. But if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in seeing part 2 or more videos like this in general, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.